Hi everyone! We're here at AILA and this is a summary video of all the sessions that we've live reported today. We did 3 sessions, the PERM, as well as the 751 complex situations, and as well as the I-130 complex situation. It's a lot, and each one is maybe overwhelming. So we're making this video of the key takeaways from all 3 sessions as a summary. And we're gonna do this for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for your pleasure. The first session we're going to cover is PERM. The key takeaway from PERM, number 1, bad news. The Department of Labor, the processing time is probably going to be the same, if not longer. So the pro tip is if you're EB3, EB2, you can upgrade to EB2 NIW, National Interest Waiver, and just skip this entire process. Do yourself a favor and just look into what is National Interest Waiver because you might qualify. The second key point is don't stress about the audit before you even file. The audit rate is 10 to 13% and a lot of times it's random, so don't super stress out about it. Now, if you do get an audit, also don't stress out about it, overcome it. What you shouldn't do is withdraw the case. Be very mindful of which company is sponsoring you doing it because, if they have a bad record, you might get an audit and then it might be challenged. But again, audit is not the end of the world. We've overcome plenty of audits. You just have to clearly document why the company needs you and why other people didn't apply or they are disqualified from applying.
I think that's so helpful. I think if I was on the other side and I got an audit, I would just automatically panic, probably withdraw the case like you mentioned. So I think this gives a little bit of peace of mind and context as to what you should do if you're in that situation.
And that brings us to the third point, which is if you're a part of these big tech companies laying off a lot of people, you might not understand this as to why the company has now issued a statement that they're not filing any new PERM. But think about it from the government's perspective. The company is supposed to justify somehow that no US workers can fill this position, and that's why they have to file for you. That is a hard argument to make. So if your company is on a restructuring, reorg, laying off a lot of people, there's a good chance that the company is not going to do your PERM sponsorship right now. They might need to wait a year. That's because if they do, your case might be denied. Okay, just so you have that context in mind. They might not explain it to you, but now you know.
The second session that we attended had to do with complex I-130 issues. One of the big takeaways was in regards to preparing really good information up front, and this is to avoid potential RFEs. It could also potentially waive your entire interview, so it's best to just prepare up front. Another big takeaway is if you do have a weaker case, try to be as creative as possible to collect all documents to show the bona fide marriage, even if it's something unconventional. You can gather affidavits from friends, from coworkers. You can share social media posts, different emails, bank accounts, and you want to try to gather possibly about 10 documents or so. The last takeaway is if you do happen to get a request for evidence, just make sure you always respond regardless of the situation.
And they might not have seen a lot of things that you submitted, and you might be completely puzzled why they're requesting all these things, and you're like, I submitted all of that. We have a recent case where we submitted everything and the officer just straight up admitted that the contractor lost it, so please resubmit everything again. USCIS likes to request stuff. It's their burden to ask, but it's your burden to give and explain what you have and why you don't have certain things that they're looking for.
And the last session that we attended was complex issues with I-751. One of the big things that they talked about is that if you are filing for I-751 waiver, there's different eligibility categories. You can file based on the fact that you were married and then ended in divorce, but you can also file based on extreme cruelty or extreme hardship. Also, if your spouse potentially passed away, then that's another category. Another key takeaway is that you're able to change categories. Let's say that when you initially filed the I-751, you were married, but then of course, waiting through all this processing time, later you got divorced. You can change the categories and you don't always have to submit a whole new form with fees.
And we went through the detail of how to do it in that separate video. And the last takeaway from the 751 session is how to expedite it with the N400. I know not everybody wants to be a citizen. You can file the N400, expedite their 751, get the permanent green card, and you still don't have to go to the oath ceremony. And with that, that's a key takeaway for Wednesday. See you Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.